I'm Paul Nguyen from Blue Hour Photo Ventures, and I'm going to walk you through the main features of Sun Surveyor. Sun Surveyor is an extremely powerful tool for visualizing and predicting the positions of the Sun and Moon and Milky Way. It's used primarily for photography, landscaping, architecture, and solar panel installation. Sun Surveyor has several different modules that are accessible via the main menu. I explain each of these modules in greater detail in their own tutorial videos. The 3D compass is useful for taking quick bearings on your environment and simple prediction of the position and path of the Sun and Moon or Milky Way. It's particularly useful when you don't have access to a cellular data connection or Wi-Fi because it only needs your phone's internal compass and GPS to function. The map view is the most accurate module for advanced planning of your photo shoot or project because it loads a Google map to help you visualize your environment in great detail, and it overlays the Sun and Moon predictions on top of the map. This view needs a data connection in order to download the maps. Live View uses your device's camera in real time to capture the scene around you and overlay the predicted Sun and Moon paths, creating an augmented reality version of the world that lets you precisely visualize where the Sun and Moon will be throughout the day. This is really useful for identifying, for instance, where and when the Sun will be obstructed by trees or buildings. Like the 3D compass, it can be used offline. The ephemeris is a series of detailed data tables about the Sun, Moon, Milky Way, and upcoming photo opportunities of note in your area. Street View lets you remotely explore landscapes in developed areas that have been documented in the Google Street View database and visualize the Sun and Moon paths in those areas. Like with the map view, it requires a data or Wi-Fi connection. Calibration is very important. It's how you calibrate your device's internal compass to ensure accurate readings every time you use the 3D compass or Live View modules. You should perform the calibration every time you launch Sun Surveyor. In the settings, you'll be able to customize the app to better suit your purposes and access advanced features. All of the visualization modules have certain tools in common. One of these is the location tool. Touching the location icon lets you choose your location in several different ways. This can be the location where you are now or the location you hope to plan your shoot or project around. You can choose your current location by choosing GPS, which allows your device to figure out where you are. Just make sure your internal GPS or location services are enabled. You can also search for a location on Google. This requires a data connection. You could also directly enter the coordinates of your location if you wish. Once you've designated a location, that information appears up here. If you want to save this location for use later on, you can do that by opening the Location tool again and touching Save, and giving your location a name. All your saved locations can be accessed here by touching the Open icon. In the Map view, you can fine-tune your specific location by dragging the map. If you'd like Sun Surveyor to always use the location where you are currently, choose the option to continuously track my location. This means that as you move from place to place, even over long distances, the app will automatically update your location and will always show you its predictions based on where you are at the time. Keep in mind that using this mode disables the Search, Open, and Enter options, but you can save your current location or manually refresh your location. The timeline lets you choose the moment that the visualizations and predictions are based on. Move forward or backwards from your current time by dragging the timeline slider, and watch how the positions of the Sun and Moon change. You can choose whether the slider span represents a 24-hour period, a 1-hour period, or a 1-year period, depending on how quickly you want to travel through time. Touching once to the left or right of the middle of the timeline lets you advance forward or back by 1 hour, 1 minute, or 1 day at a time, depending on what your slider span is set to. Touching the refresh icon brings you back to the current moment. You can also manually enter in the exact time by touching the clock icon here on the right, or the digital clock. And you can manually choose the date for your predictions by touching the date on the left. With the Timeline tool and Location tool together, you can plan your photo shoot or project based on a specific date and time in the future for any location on Earth. The Info Panel carousel is where you can choose which visualizations and information you'd like to see in your view. Each info panel contains the most important information about the Sun or Moon or Milky Way. For instance, the Sun panel contains the current azimuth or angle of the Sun relative to north, the altitude or degrees above the horizon, and the shadow ratio, which is the ratio of how long an object's shadow is compared to the object's height. The sunrise and sunset panels contain information about the time of sunrise and sunset respectively and the azimuth for each. The moon panels contain similar azimuth and altitude information, but instead of shadow ratio, they show the moon's percent illumination on the bottom row. Besides containing information, each panel also allows you to toggle the visualization of the sun or moon and its path on and off on the view. For each set of panels, you can choose not to see the rise and set, or not to see the path. This eliminates information you don't need to see right now and simplifies the view. Advancing through the carousel gets you to the info panel setup, which lets you choose which panels appear in the carousel. If you'd ever like to hide the toolbar or info panels to open up more room on the screen, you'll see that the tools have these small black handles. Touching and dragging the handle allows you to hide or reveal the toolbar.